Hello, my collective. Let's go ahead and just do a spiritual check in. Let's kind of see what our angels, our loved ones, the universe, God has to say, whoever it is that you would like to connect into. Let's just kind of do a spiritual check in, any messages or advice that we need to hear as of right now. I'm going to go ahead and start with 3 cards. As always, this is a collective message, so please take it as it resonates to you and your situation. Let's go ahead and pull 3 cards. I also am running a sale right now, so if you're interested in booking a personal with me, the link to that will be in the description box below. This unlimited ideas wanted to fly on out. When I see this card, I feel like this is you have infinite possibilities. What you are looking for is 100% capable of achieving. Do not limit yourself. Do not think that you are not capable of getting somewhere, whether you can see it at this moment or not. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we can get to come forward. Oh, we just keep having cards fly out, but they're like chunks of cards, so too many. Let's go ahead and see. We're going to pull 2 more cards for my collective. All right, we have exercise. Yeah, see, with this, I really feel like your spiritual check-in for my collective, if you've been feeling really low, just with these 2 cards, if you've been feeling really low, that's not where, yeah, see, I knew I was going to say, I feel like there's a sense because we have unlimited ideas, exercise your manifestation abilities, and then we have moonlighting and God is your source. So my collective, you may not be exactly where you want to be. Oh, and then do the work is on the bottom coming through in this third eye crown chakra as well. Cooperation instead of competition is right below that. Again, third eye crown chakra. When I see the third eye crown chakra, this to me is saying that when you are asking for something, right? When we talk about manifesting, it's one thing to say it, but it's another to believe it. It's another to envision it. I really want you to start focusing on envisioning and really feeling that energy that you're asking for. With this unlimited ideas and this exercise your energy and manifestation abilities, to me, all right, collective, I know that you may not be exactly where you want to be, or you're feeling kind of low right now, or what you're asking for, maybe it just doesn't feel like it is happening. We have moonlighting right here, and so moonlighting is all about like you may not be exactly where you want to be, or you may not have everything that you want, but you can get there. And I already said that with that unlimited ideas, where it's like don't limit yourself. Even if you don't see the path at this very moment, don't stop yourself from getting there, right? Let's say you wanted to start a business for yourself. It doesn't have to be this way. But if you wanted to start a business, maybe you want to move to a different state or a different country, or maybe you're looking to buy a house, maybe, whatever this is, okay? Because this is collective, it's different for everybody. But I definitely feel that you feel very limited on what you are capable of doing. And with this moonlighting, it's like, why? You may not have everything at this very moment, but it doesn't mean that you can't get there. I want you to make a list for yourself, my collective, and really start focusing on that list. Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, where are you looking to be? And how am I going to get there? And with this, do the work. It's time for you to start putting the work in. If you want to start your personal business, how are you going to start that up? What are you going to be doing? What's your clientele? Are you going to be, and again, you may not see the path, but it's like when you start to work towards it, it's like some doors will start to open is kind of what I feel. And with this God is your source, I feel like Spirit's like, listen, I will bring in all those missing pieces. I will show you the path. I will show you the way. I will make something happen for you. But you need to believe in what you're asking for. You need to believe in yourself. You need to have this envisionment for yourself as well. And I feel like there's a sense of like starting to get on it. Like I just feel like there's a sense of like getting on it for some reason. Let's go ahead and pull a piece of advice for my collective. What else does my collective need to hear? One piece of advice. One piece of advice for my collective. All right, share with others. Sharing brings joy and growth. Share your experiences, your knowledge, and resources to help others solve their problems. In this process of sharing, you will gain more friendships and inspiration. I definitely feel this could go into like you physically, like sharing ideas, throwing ideas around. For some of you, there could be some sort of inspiration that comes through. I want to make that very clear because I feel like there's like some sort of inspiration. I feel like with the sharing with others, this could be like communicating in with others, getting some inspiration from others in some way, shape, or form. Or this could even be where it's like starting to look into things. Like I remember when I first started doing tarot, Like I, again, like I knew about the tarot, things like that, but I was like very scared because I was like, well, I don't want to say like the wrong thing and somebody come at me, but it's like so many different things. Like one card could mean something different for, three different people, right? It's not always the same thing. It's just dependent on that energy. And so that's why sometimes you'll hear me say this or that. Take it as it resonates. I feel like there's a sense here where maybe like getting inspiration, looking into other things, like there's resources for everything nowadays. Don't be afraid to look on social media and get an inspiration of something for yourself, all right? Because I do feel like there's a sense here where it's like, I want you to jump on the ball. For others of you, this is like kind of communicating with somebody else, like having that conversation, sharing advice. One thing that we're taught in esthetician school, and I truly stand behind this, is you are continuously growing, right? Don't be that person in esthetician school, so in like the beauty industry, where it's like somebody reaches out to you and they're like, hey, how did you do this? How did you do these set of lashes? I absolutely love them. What's your combo of the lashes? What's the, are they whatever, right? And instead of like gatekeeping, keeping that to myself, like always being willing to share, because the more open you are, the more likely you're going to kind of get that good recognition or that kind of good a voice of word where people are willing to kind of talk about that. There's something about that. So if you do know something, I just feel like if somebody's coming to you for advice in some way, shape, or form, kind of giving it. But I do feel like there's a big space of inspiration somehow, some way. So this could be through social medias. This could be looking through things. This could be kind of just like overhearing or being open, kind of having conversations, being open to kind of advice, maybe in a good way. I want to make that very clear for some of my collective, in a good way. Now, I do feel like there's a sense here where it's like my collective, you may not see how this is going to happen in some way, shape, or form. And like, let's say my collective, like somebody's trying to buy a house, right? And it's like, well, I don't know about this or I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, come up with the down payment. Somebody might, reference you into like first-time homeowners, buyers, or, like things like that. And it's like, okay, that helps me a lot because now I don't need this massive down payment or whatever it might be. I just feel like there's some sort of inspiration here, and I definitely feel it's like, don't limit yourself. What you're looking for, Spirit's like, it's right here. Really focus on that. You may not be there right now with this moonlighting, but I will get you there. Let's go ahead and pull 3 oracle cards for my collective. What else does my collective need to hear? 3 more cards. What does my collective need to hear? All right, we have your magical abilities are growing. Use them wisely. Love that. We have a powerful spell will bring you what you desire. And I feel like this is more of, actually I'm going to talk about that in a couple different ways. A guardian spirit watches over you. Feel their presence. Love that. And then a protective charm will bring you safety and peace. Okay. I'm going to talk about these in a couple different ways because when people hear the word spells or like, things like that, it can be very nerve-wracking. If you're somebody who does practice in witchcraft or something like that, I feel like, believing or trusting in what you're asking for. My mom does like money rituals or something like that, where she'll like light a money candle and like kind of just like say some things where it's like she's open to receiving and, X, Y, or Z. I know there's a couple things like that. Now, you don't always have to do that, but I do feel like there's a sense of believing in what you're asking for in some way, shape, or form. So if you're going to be doing like, a ritual of some kind, believing that it's possible that this is going to work. I do feel like there's a big sense here of like you being magical or you being very one and connected in with spirit and with God and with your loved ones, whoever it might be that you want to connect in with. We do have a guardian spirit here. And so I do feel like a lot of my collective watching this does have somebody that's crossed over that is a big part of their spiritual team. I feel like they're very motivating for you. They might not have always been super motivating here in the physical. I feel like it goes half and half because I do feel like there's somebody, some of my collective where it's like maybe they weren't as motivational as they could have been here in the physical, but that's not what they're like on the non-physical. Now, for others of you, I do feel like this could have been your like motivational source in the physical, and that's never stopped. Just because they're crossed over doesn't mean that they're any less motivation, like they're any less being willing to like kind of motivate you or give you that encouragement, right? Just because I'm crossed over doesn't mean that you can't talk to me, doesn't mean that I don't hear you and I don't feel you and I'm trying to help you. That's kind of what I feel here. I do feel like it's like really paying attention to what your desire is. If you're looking for something mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, I really do feel like it's time for you to start paying attention to that in some way, shape, or form, but also having a sense of belief. I want you to make a list for yourself, all of my collective watching this, and really start focusing on how you're going to get there, or what's aligning with this. If you are asking for X, Y, and Z, but nothing's aligning to this, how are we going to change to make this align, right? I do feel for some of you with this coming forward, a protective charm will bring you safety and peace. I feel like this could go into crystals. This could kind of go into maybe a charm of theirs, some way, shape, or form. But I feel like this is more a sense of grounding. So when you're starting to feel nervous, like really try to ground yourself. And this could go through, again, through crystals. This can go through charms. This could just be like, you need to go step outside, really ground yourself for a minute, spend some time in nature. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot for my collective. What else does my collective need to hear? We're going to pull 4 cards for my collective. What does my collective need to hear? All right, we have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Swords. Or sorry, the 6 of Swords. Then we have the 10 of Cups. And we have the 9 of Wands. Okay, I do feel like there's a sense of like worried about something, but it's like we're going to move away from that. There's a big sense of like worry or trying here. The 4 of Pentacles could also reference where it's like this could be financially, where it's like you don't want to start something or you don't want to do something because it's like you're worried about finances. Like there could be something about that. I do want to say for some of my collective, this could be where you're not being negative. Okay, I don't want to say negative, but I definitely feel like it's like you're not thinking of all the good possibilities. Like I'm more focusing on like what could go wrong, or like maybe what I'm not capable of. I don't want your mind to be there, but I feel like that's here to transition soon. I think with this 10 of Cups, it's like this is where you want to be, but I'm worried about it. Like I'm worried. It's a battle to get there. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles. Two more cards for my collective. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Strength card. Okay, I want to let you know, I think that like whatever this is, whatever goal you're setting for yourself or whatever it is that you're kind of like hoping for, I feel like Spirit is telling you you're able to get there. But I feel like there's a sense of like starting. And when I see the page, I always say this is like the new, right? You're going into this, I want you to think of it as like a child energy, right? You're going into this could be like first job, and not saying this is your first job, but it's like you're new to this, like you're going into this with like a little energy, and it's like you're developing over time. You'll develop into that king or queen type of energy, but we're starting off little. We're starting off with the page, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not here to develop. And so that's kind of what I feel here is like I really want you to start, and with this Page of Pentacles, I feel like it's like setting a goal and believing in it, or like really working towards your goals because they're solid. With this Chariot, I feel like there's a sense of like being able to overcome, like you're going to reach where you're asking for, even if it's hard. Okay, with this Strength card, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, but I definitely feel like there's a sense here where it's like, I'll help you get there. I'll help you reach there. And we have God as your source. And then we also have right here where it's like you have a spirit, like a guardian angel. And with the Strength card, I feel like whatever this is, like even if you can't see the path, even if you don't believe in the way, like it's like if you start to work towards it, I will make it happen for you. Let's go ahead and pull 4 more cards for my collective. What else does my collective need to hear? 4 more cards for my collective. Okay, so we have the 3 of Swords. We have the 5 of Pentacles, we have the Magician, and we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, my collective, I feel like you're really worried about something, okay? When I see this 3 of Swords, this 5 of Pentacles, I feel like there is a big worry about something. And I do want to say for those who are like worried about something financially, some way, shape, or form, and I think I said this in the beginning, where it's like, you could be, I keep wanting to reference like buying a house. So if you're looking into buying a house, or you're looking into like maybe moving or something financially, because I keep wanting to go into that in some way, shape, or form. If there's like some worry about starting something or doing something because of finances, I don't want you to focus on necessarily the finances. I don't want that to stop you from looking into a situation, or for like you setting a goal for yourself. I feel like set those goals for yourself, and even though you might feel like, oh, I'm not capable of reaching this, I can't get there, because with these two cards I feel like it's like you don't think that you can get there. Like there's some sort of worry, there's some sort of stress, right? Doesn't mean that you can't get there. I feel like it might be hard to do something in some way, shape, or form with the strength, but it's not like something you can't overcome, because we also have this victory where it's like, or sorry, the chariot, where it's like you're able to overcome any obstacles that are kind of thrown in your way. And so whatever this obstacle is, whatever this worry is, whatever this stress is, and I feel like this could be something around finances, you're gonna be okay. And maybe even talking to somebody about like something financially, and like it's like somebody's going to give you an idea about something, or somebody's going to give you like something like that in some way, shape, or form. Because I do feel like there's a sense here where it's like I'm wherever you're worried, right? And this could be, I like how it's like the Four of Pentacles, and then it's the Ace of Swords, but also with this Nine of Wands, I feel like this is like a lot of worry, or it's like ongoing battle. It's like maybe like just like not knowing in some way, shape, or form. But then we also have this Ace of Swords where it's like the clarity. When it comes into this situation, I really feel like there's a sense where it's like make your list and really align yourself to this. Hold yourself to your goals, okay? And when you start to work towards it, I feel like you're going to start to see the progress. Like it's not something where, you know, this is going to take forever to happen for you, something like that. I feel like you're going to start to see the path. Okay, I understand that. If this is where you start to be open about certain things, right? I just feel like there's a sense here in some way, shape, or form where it's like you're going to get inspiration from somebody, or you're going to get inspiration from a situation, and I want you to do that in some way, shape, or form. I just feel like there's a big sense of inspiration here, and I want you to follow into that, okay? My collective, I'm going to be honest with you. I know that you may be feeling low. We have that right here. I said that in the very beginning. But I don't want that to hold you back from a situation, because I feel whatever it is that like the rut that you're in right now, you're able to overcome that. The worry that you're in right now, you're going to overcome that. That's not where you're going to, your main focus will be. All right. I'm sending you all lots of love and light. I hope you enjoyed your message. Again, if you're interested in booking a person with me, the link to that will be in the description box below. I am currently running a sale. Take care.